Okay, so I've been a WoW player since way back in the day. Launch, really. I haven't played consistently through the years. Most recently, pretty much what ends up happening is I usually play really hard at the start and end of the expansion. So I'll come back kind of around now, where there's, maybe a month or two or something like that before the next expansion hits. Kind of blast my way through all the content that I've missed before the expansion drops, and then level up through the expansion and try out some of the new content in terms of all the dungeons and the first tier raids. So there's definitely been, I can already see, quite a few changes since last time I was playing. I can see my bars are really messed up in the background there, and they are telling me here that there's been this user interface update overhaul thing. And I'm sure a number of my add-ons that I'm used to having are broken at the moment as well, even though I went through and updated. So this will be a bit of a challenge as I try to navigate through this stuff. I see there's a new talent system that's dropped as well. So apparently that's live, and I'm gonna have to redo my talents, and I have no idea what's going to be good or not. But none of the content I'm doing is terribly high level, so hopefully I can kind of muddle through it with some suboptimal stuff for the time being. And if I really need to, I can probably, go through and do a little bit of research and figure out what exactly I need, to make things more optimal for later. But, usually, once I kind of get into the swing of things, I end up participating in some pretty cutting-edge endgame stuff. I'm not sure that I'll really be doing it this time around, just because I really want to focus my attention on other things, but we'll see if I get kind of dragged into it, or not. Well, as I was kind of just explaining to Nobody Agent, I've been playing WoW since the very beginning, and what I usually do these days is I kind of pop in at the end/start of each expansion and just kind of blast through all the content that's available to see it for myself. I do actually want to go back to FF14 as well. I do have an account on there as also. And honestly, I kind of feel like that would be more fun to play at the moment. But if I don't come into WoW and play the stuff that is here as it stands, I'm not really going to get the chance to experience some of that content. So it's kind of a FOMO thing for me to check it out before it goes. Anyway, this is going to be a nightmare. I am really going to have to struggle with this UI. It looks like they consolidated some of my bars, or mixed them up. I can't really tell what's going on there. Because I see some of these. Okay, no, that's a macro of mine. That's supposed to be there. Looks like at least one of my macros is broken at the moment, though. What server do I play on in 14? I don't even remember. It's been so long since I played. I remember in 11 I was on Leviathan, but I don't remember what I'm on in 14. There's a chance if I start back up in 14 I'll end up re-rolling and starting a new character anyway, possibly on a totally new server, because I remember that the server I was on didn't really have a lot going on, and it seems like basically every server except the one I was on has some of my friends on it, or people that I know from VTubing, or other community members from other communities that I'm in or something like that. And I've just ended up on not the server to hang out with anybody. Okay, so new talent system, Dragonflight, user interface updates. Oh boy, so much stuff. What even... okay, so this is now just a decentralized widget that used to be in the top left. Venture guide to find recommendations, sure. Sanctum to report available... okay. Tracking options have been simplified, and many will appear conditionally when appropriate. Oh... how do you know when it's appropriate? I'm the one who decides that. Okay. Up to play, you can now cross-play from data servers. That's good. Yeah, that was a real drawback back last time I was playing, but it sounds like they've updated the server tech kind of similar to WoW for a lot of stuff, which is very positive. Okay, unit frames, use edit mode to customize it, UI elements on your HUD by toggling it on from the game menu escape. Okay, I've got to return to my thing, and, mode, okay. I'm just gonna put this back up here for now, because it's where I'm used to it being. Although, there is some... yeah, I don't know. I feel like anywhere I put it, it's gonna be kind of in the way. Select from a preset, or create a custom layout using the drop-down. Use the checkboxes to customize UI elements that are not normally visible. I'm a Draenei, and I am a Death Knight. Draenei came out in the first expansion, and Death Knights came out in... I guess it was the second expansion? Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to show some of these things when they're not additionally appropriate. I may have to mess with this stuff more as I go into actual, parties and raids. Now, as for why this is overlapping, I don't know, but that's kind of annoying. I don't want to change the position of it, I want to change the size of it. No, I don't want to say something. So, okay, you can't change the size, you can only change the position. That's very irritating. Yeah, BC and Wrath, respectively. I don't know why they would, in the default setting, have these so large that they overlap. That's very frustrating. And with no clear way of... yeah, for real though, there's gotta be a way to make the chat log not overlap like this. These are not the things that should be on these bars. But rather than reset me, it just, like, randomly picked stuff for me. Thanks, I hate it. Thank you for the redeem. You thought what was brand new, not a rework? Oh, the talent trees? Yeah, no, they're... it's kind of a little bit of both. This is definitely way different than it was before, but a lot of the talents are the same. No, there's always been talent trees. They keep, like, with almost every expansion, they change their design philosophy on the talent trees. But they've always been there. I don't really care about Glacial Advance. Okay, so I feel like this is like the AoE build, and this is like the boss build for single target damage. Cold Heart is historically really good. Consuming the killing machine effect has a 50% chance to grant you 1 ruin. Oh, these were really mostly here so that I could kind of switch between builds more easily for, like, PvP versus PvE, I think? But, I still don't have any of those abilities. I think they got rid of them all. Unless maybe they're part of the Death Knight pool? I'm so disoriented. It's been a while. I'm so, like, out of touch with what's going on in WoW right now. Okay. Guess I failed. Appropriate. I suspect some of the unit values and stuff for these things have changed since I started these missions a long time ago. And now these, units are not strong enough to complete the mission anymore. So this is, like, starting with maybe 2 expansions ago or something like that, you rose so high in the ranks of the world that you're a commander, and, you actually have, like, armies and stuff at your disposal now, and so this is, like, playing out, how you send out your forces to deal with, like, large-scale threats. Like, enemy armies and stuff like that. And you have to, like, collect war resources and so on and so forth to fuel your whole base of operations and army and everything. Yeah, that would have been way too difficult to program and everything, I'm sure, and very laggy for most people, and, like, they didn't want to turn this into a Total War genre game. So instead, they kind of went what's sort of the worst possible direction for it, where they sort of stole the mechanic from, like, Dragon Age Inquisition, where you, like, deploy stuff and then just have to wait real-world time for it to complete. Oh good, I have meat. I wonder if they added any new, dungeons that I don't know about. I used to have, like, an auto-sell button for my junk loot, but I guess that's not working at the moment. Oh, I hate the Maw and Torghast. very much kind of the reason I stopped playing. I wonder if you have to have the expansion already to be able to go to that dungeon or something? It doesn't look like they added any new dungeons since last time I played, so I shouldn't really need to go into those. I was already a fair way into mythic dungeons last time around. I'm too undergeared to go for the raid finder? Wow. I used to be doing, like, the actual raid versions of these. They must have really buffed them or something. You're kidding me. So my mythic level 184 weapon is now objectively worse than the blue version that drops in the normal dungeon mode? What the hell happened while I was gone? All of these are 236. So I have to grind normal dungeons again just to get my loot close enough up to par that I can run Raid Finder again. Even though it's like this... Wow. And that's normal difficulty. What's heroic like? 249. Mythic starts at 262? What kind of crazy gear scaling happened while I was out? This is very strange. This is not how this has worked in past expansions. Okay. Well, I guess I have to run some normal mode dungeons. This is embarrassing. I know there's gotta be a flight path around here somewhere. I do not remember for the life of me where it is. Hey, I remember, like, nothing about these dungeons. So, here we go. Death Knight's still one of the slowest classes in the game, I think.
These little friends of yours think they're gonna help you one someday? What chance you be having against me? It be Mwazala who brought Helia to the jailer's side. Struck a deal for old Odin's eye, and made the Banshee war chief with a whisper.
You think you're one boss man? Maybe you've been skulking in the shadows for too long. Come on now, heroes. Bring the mojo back and help me put this whole lower in place.
This be the darkness be mine to command. So small, so weak. The shadows take ya! Your life be mine! Darkness be mine to command!
You best hurry. The price don't matter now.
Foolish mortals! Me be the true god of death!
Don't you be counting me out yet, old Loa. You can't be holding me forever.
There be no escaping death. Darkness be mine to command. The shadows take ya. Your life be mine. So small, so weak. Darkness be mine to command. Darkness be mine to command. So small, so weak. Your life be mine. The shadows take ya.
It's still recharging.
You best hurry. The price don't matter now.
Foolish mortals! Me be the true god of death!
You had better to pay attention, father of sleep. You never care about your people, only power.
You're just mortals! How this be?
Times change, man. Mortals never be as weak as you believe them to be. You see, they have potential. But don't you be worrying about a thing. You're gonna be having plenty of time to learn from your mistakes. You did good, heroes, yeah. But what Mozala got coming, yet for mortal eyes. Take your trinkets and be gone with ya.
That be some big talk one Sunday, but you be nothing before the jailer.
You better watch your tongue, little thing. One someday the boss man now.
So, just did my first dungeon very poorly.
Sire Denathrius has been taken prisoner. What is our plan to recover him?
Every soul has its purpose. Denathrius has fulfilled his. We must forge our next weapon.
He's not ready.
Then a more direct approach is necessary. We have not come this far, only to falter now. You know what must be done.
there she is again. You know, these endless lectures of yours...
Have failed to convince you. Regardless, the conversation is over. One way or another, we will have you. So I will offer this one last time. Join our cause, or be made to serve.
What kind of choice is that? Why even give me? It's the choice you never had. Despite all your grand designs, there's still some shred of your mortality haunting you. As if the Banshee Queen hasn't entirely eclipsed the Ranger General.
Don't.
Now I understand why you brought me here. Why you've tried so hard to persuade me. Because if you can get me to let go of hope, you finally can too.
Enough! Submit. You are only making this harder on yourself.
Not harder on me. Right now, you hold all the power. How will you use it?
I've not come this far to falter now.
Then why do you hesitate? Make your choice, Sylvanas Windrunner.
Do you need a task?
Despite all our efforts, the Maw continues to grow. What if Denathrius' treachery is irreparable? The Primus is lost, and Bastion cannot save the Shadowlands alone.
None of this should have happened.
Perhaps the Winter Queen could...
My Archon. A living soul seeks an audience.
A mortal?
A king. By all our measures, one who has spent his life striving for justice. One who would give anything to serve his people. One whose heart is true.
Very well. He may approach. Step forward. My Ascended have spoken of you. The king held captive in the Maw.
That prison could not hold me forever.
Why have you come to Bastion?
You have a key that I need.
You will release this soul from your grasp.
No. He is bound to me.
Just as you once sought to bind your own brother. The vessel performed its part flawlessly. 3 keys remain. Then they will see. Death was never meant to be chained.
In the Arbiter's name, we answer the call of the Eternal Ones.
This brazen attack on Bastion must be answered. Has your wound healed, Grestia?
No. But that is of little consequence compared to what was stolen.
What was the jailer after?
Long ago, each of the Eternal Ones was given a symbol of our Covenant's purpose. Yet Zoval saw these sigils as keys to forbidden knowledge.
When we rebuked his heresy, he tried to claim them by force.
But in the end, the Primus led us to victory.
And for his treachery, Zoval was exiled forevermore.
Yet even bound to the Maw, he found allies to aid his cause. No doubt Sire Denathrius willingly offered his sigil to the Banished One.
We have found no such sigil within the sanctum of the Primus.
The essence of the Arbiter remains here. It must be protected.
The Ebon Blade will help defend the Eternal City. But this will not be the Jailer's only target.
No. Even now, his malevolence encroaches upon my groves.
The Necrolords will drive these invaders from Ardenweald.
The Venthyr will fight beside your army, Straka.
We will rally the Covenant's forces and make our stand.
Let it be so. With her voice have I spoken.
Is that all?
Both Ardenweald and Oribos could come under assault. Darien, the Ebon Blade must protect the city.
We will see it done. Bane and I will aid them. We won't let the jailer claim the Arbiter's sigil.
I'm going to Ardenweald with you, Bolvar. If there is even a chance to save Anduin.
I understand, Jaina. We depart at once.
Looks like the world boss loot has not kept pace with the increases in the dungeons. I'm not sure this world boss is actually worth doing anymore.
Luckily, we have many stewards at our disposal to address any problem we may have.
Also, I want to log out real quick
is restored.
and see if I can fix some of my add-on. Oh, you can do it dynamically now. Okay. Apparently I still qualify for heroic dungeons, even though my gear is pretty terrible. That does still count as a world quest.
Is true.
I'll do it for
Our
that reason.
purpose.
I've been going for about 2 hours now. And that's been roughly enough time for me to get my add-ons set back up and accept some quests. Technically, we also ran one dungeon, on the lowest difficulty, and received no loot. Oh good, I can sell junk now. That's an improvement at least. I don't remember how to use these things. Okay, apparently I have to be at my base to do it. I'm sure that fit well for the month of October. Okay, time for me to be objectively terrible at this. Never mind, someone declined. We'll try again.
Do not allow the beauty of Tazavesh to distract you from our shared purpose.
Hold. Entry is restricted. Surrender your weapons and follow me.
Surely we can come to an alternate agreement?
There will be no agreement. Lethal force authorized.
Okay, well, I believe it's the tank? No, it's not the tank. It's this DPS, this warrior, is outdamaging me quite a bit. But I am second on damage, which is pretty good, all things considered. Oh, now I'm much lower. I was stunned a whole lot, so there's that.
I need papers, please.
A necessary tragedy. Unfortunately, we have now drawn the ire of Cartel Zo.
Oof! Heart attack! Yeah, it is a pretty bad lottery prize. I think it's supposed to be a joke about, being selected at, like, customs? Never realized how many Dead Rising 2 games there were. Wasn't Dead Rising 2 just one game? Or do you mean that there's, like, a whole bunch of expansions, or...?
Now for the item you have all been awaiting.
That's a big list. I'm wondering if maybe it's because they use the same engine for all of them, and then just release them with different subtitles or something?
Do I hear 5,000? I hear 6,000. Yes, 6.
Yukikaze has a profitable venture. Hopefully this inclines them to aid our own.
Is 4 the one that's supposed to be bad?
With controls this easy, even a dredger could do it.
I think you might have been mentioning something about that recently.
Awakened, destroyed, everyone.
Alright, my first gear upgrade. Oh, since coming back, that is. It did sound that way, didn't it? But she said axe. A-X-E.
I can't use that item yet.
Money orders require verification by photo, signature, and blood.
Oops. I'm not quite sure what killed me there.
Special delivery.
Or if they're not delivered within delivered to what? Clearly I don't understand something about this boss. I have no idea who I'm supposed to deliver this box to. I'm just figuring out as I go that there's even a box I need, or a person I need to deliver this to.
I believe the crowd has heard enough.
Oh, Misa, it is a pleasure. My friends and I are here to...
Ah, the next band has arrived. Please, take the stage. And remember, I am quite generous with
Bring
those
on the
who
next
manage to
band.
entertain my guests.
Our path reveals itself. Perform well, and our Misa's favor is ours.
A round of applause, please, for our next musical act.
Well, apparently I failed that minigame spectacularly.
Excuse our intrusion, Solir. I hope we caught you at an inconvenient time.
Al-Dalil, is there no sanctuary from your filth?
Hear me, Solir. The artifact you seek brings only suffering.
Suffering and power. I must now travel beyond Tazavesh, but your journey ends here.
Die, foes of Cartel Soul!
I'm out of range.
When our non-tidal wave begins as a ripple, be where your opponent is not.
I need to go closer.
Every circle has its center. Your skills
It's
are
too far away.
lacking. To remain still is to invite defeat. Every circle has its center.
I'm out of range.
Every circle has its center.
It's nearly charging.
Tidal wave begins as a ripple. My cartel. There's my shame.
I mean, a lot of the muscle memory is kind of coming back in terms of, like, movement and stuff like that, but...
But her echo remains an echo we can follow.
I would say, you know, it's hard to say how things are tuned and stuff like that because my gear is so out of date. I did manage to pick up 2 drops, so I'm getting a little bit better geared.
Valinor was once a test for our most powerful champions. Now an agent of chaos. And a test for you.
Oh. That's not good. Have attracted the ire of many elites. Best mount? I don't know. I've got a lot of, really rare ones that I've collected over the years in terms of stuff that's, like, not available anymore. Like this Korkron Warwolf, that one was pretty hard to get because you had to basically beat the end boss of the highest raid on the highest difficulty before the expansion pack hit. But, I mean, if we're just talking in terms of, like, coolness or something, it's a little bit harder to define. It seems like a pretty good place to raise.
Valinor was once a test for our most powerful champions. Now an agent of chaos. And a test for you.
Mounts. So here's a couple of my ones that I've kind of marked as favorite. Some of them were just really hard to get. Others are really nice looking. Like this dragon is kind of pretty. I like the way the hippogriffs fly. Curiel's Charger was like a tie-in thing, but I really like it for paladins. And this Uncorrupted Voidwing, I think, was really hard to get. This one I received recently. It's pretty cool looking, too. And it's a pretty good one for Death Knight, like, thematically. And then I've got this ship. My flying ghost ship.
Valinor was once a test for our most powerful champions.
Oh, I guess they're fighting it already.
I serve the Forsworn.
To show true courage requires imminent defeat. You must be tested.
I don't know why I can't seem to activate a lot of my skills. Oh, apparently it's still on cooldown, and it just sometimes shows it not as being on cooldown? That's strange.
It's not ready.
The path is perilous. Those that do not survive cannot ascend.
I can't use that item.
The path is perilous. Trial suspended. Enemy stores depleted.
Forsworn! Take flight! Attack now! While they are wounded!
Anima recharged. Resuming trial. You must be tested. Those that do not survive cannot ascend.
It's not ready yet. I need to get closer.
You must be tested. Trial passed.
You have shown
Participants
tremendous
victorious.
courage to face this challenge and return to us in victory.
Oh, apparently flying is something you can eventually do. Originally they had said that they would never allow flying in these zones, but apparently there must be some way to unlock it now. So... okay.
My apprentice, you return
I kind of
at
went
last.
different main classes over time, which I guess is probably typical for a lot of people. In early vanilla, I was a warrior, and then, in BC, I was, for the most of the expansion, a, hunter main. I switched to paladin near the very end of it when they made a bunch of changes. Hey, Firelina! Welcome! And then, I was doing mostly pally tank with a little bit of retribution pally. Very rarely healing. At the start of Wrath, I was doing mostly pally, but then I gradually switched over to, DK. and just purely because it was originally my alt, but it somehow managed to outgear my main, just from luck on drops. And then,
That's all for this episode. If you enjoyed, please like, comment, subscribe, or join me on Twitch or Twitter. Hope to see you next time on Yukikaze Gaming. Matane!